This week we're going to continue to review vocab words that you have had so far in the other 5 units that you have done this year. This is our last week of review. This is our last week of videos for this school year. So as always, I'm going to ask you to read the blue word with me and the sentence, and then I'll tell you what it means. You're going to pause the video after the think about it question, and then again to talk it over with your learning adult. All right, so let's get started. The first word is throughout. Sap passes throughout a tree. It travels to every part. If something is found throughout an area, it is found all over that area. You can find cars throughout the city. What are other things that you can find throughout a city? Read each sentence and try the word throughout in the blank space. Decide whether the sentence makes sense and discuss the answers with your learning adult. Read with me. Textures. Paper can have different textures. It can look and feel smooth or rough. Textures are different ways that surfaces look and feel. How do the textures of sandpaper and fur feel to your fingers? Discuss with your learning adult what the textures scratchy and soft feel like. Then read the phrases in the box below and decide where on the chart each phrase belongs. Peak. This goat lives near the peak or top of a mountain. It likes high, rocky cliffs. A peak is the pointed top of something. How is the peak of a mountain different from the rest of it? Look at the chart below and think about which things you might put a check next to that have a peak. Discuss your answers with your learning adult. Steep. This mountain is steep. It reaches straight up into the sky. Steep means having a sharp slope. How do you think it must feel to hike up or ski down a steep mountain? Which activity would be more challenging? Sort the words from the box below into 2 groups, things that can be steep and things that cannot be steep. You can put them on a sheet of paper in 2 columns if that will help you to sort them, and then talk about them with your learning adult. Tropical. Some plants grow in warm, damp, tropical climates near the equator. Tropical means weather is hot and wet. That's found in places near the equator. Think about a picture that you've seen of a tropical island or rainforest. Tell about that tropical place. Think about the kinds of plants that grow in a tropical place. You can use an encyclopedia to help you. And then think about the kinds of plants that grow in your area. Are there kinds of plants that grow in both places? You can use a Venn diagram like the one below to write the plants into the correct side. Landscape. The landscape changes in spring. Grass turns green and flowers bloom. Landscape means a long stretch of land seen from one place. How might a landscape change during a dry spell, a flood, a snowstorm? Talk about what a landscape contains. Then use a chart like the one below, and then decide what you might see in the landscape for each of the places in the chart. Slopes. Gentle slopes near the bottom of the mountain are easiest to climb. Slopes are stretches of ground that slant upward or downward. How's riding a bike up and down slopes different from riding on flatter ground? Think about different places where slopes are found. Then you can use a chart like the one below and write yes or no to say whether each place usually has a slope. Which of these would be the steepest? Survival. This bluebird flies south for the winter for its survival or to stay alive. Survival is the act of continuing to live. How can winter make survival difficult for some plants and animals? Look at the items below. Draw lines to show what each thing needs for survival. Equipment. Mountain climbers check their supplies or equipment before a climb. The things that are needed for a particular activity or purpose are called equipment. What equipment do you need for your favorite sport or game? Look at the chart below. Draw lines to match each group of equipment with what it's used for. Compare your answers with your learning adult. Altitude. The altitude or height of Granite Peak in Montana is 12,799 feet high. Height measured from the Earth's surface is called altitude. What's the highest altitude you've ever experienced? Where were you? Think about the altitude that different things can reach. Think about the words from the box and list them in order from highest to lowest, and compare your answers with your learning adult.